There's one more thing I want to share with you. And those are these 11 phrases that I say as a part of my routine, as a part of my language. I don't say all of them every day, but when the situation comes up, I've turned these into my own language. And what's a beautiful thing? You say them enough, your kids will start repeating these patterns. Just like if you say negative things all the time, if you complain all the time, our kids start picking up on those patterns. But my kids started picking up on these patterns, and it's a beautiful thing. And some of these, I will go through them kind of quickly, but not too quickly. But I want to share common situations when I say them, maybe a short story with some of them. But here we go. Let's take a look at them. So the first thing, thank you for sharing that. This happened just the other night, actually. My kids, are fighting a lot lately. They're on summer vacation, so they're with each other a lot more, which means a lot of fight friends, right? And something came out, and an emotion just came out of my daughter, and she shared something about how she feels when her brother hits her, and when I speak to her, and she just let out how she was sincerely feeling about a certain situation. And as parents, it's instinctual, I guess, for us to say, oh no, and we want them to feel better, and we want to say things like, oh no, don't feel bad. Oh no, don't cry. Get that out of here. Do not let them cry. Let them get it out. Let them feel it. Just like when you are feeling a certain way and you don't want someone to come in and fix it. You just want to feel that. You want to feel that they are here with you. And if they say something, so you say, thank you for sharing that. Because that takes a lot. You think about yourself, that takes a lot to make yourself essentially vulnerable and share what you're really feeling. Our kids too, it takes a lot, maybe not even as much as us, because we have hardened, life experience. But thank you for sharing that. We want to keep them tender. We want to keep them open. Even if they are saying something that you did, something they feel because of something you did. I don't want any of this shit like, oh, well, that's because, I don't do that for no reason. No, get that out of here. Thank you for sharing that. Because whatever your motivation for acting a certain way or blowing up or yelling or something, that was your motivation. We're focused now on our child's feelings, how they're feeling about that situation, how they interpret that situation. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't realize that. That's a powerful one. That's so powerful. Next one. Here's something that just whether you're at work or whether you're with a relationship or whether you're with friends or whether it's just general communication, I feel when it's very easy for us to instinctually go, well, let's reverse it. When you do that, I feel like this. What does this do? This starts with this kind of attitude. Even if it's not with our fingers, it's with our words. When you do that, I feel this. No, let's reverse it. Because whatever we say first is kind of the protagonist of this sentence. Right? So when you yell at me, I feel small. We're saying when you yell at me, So your first instinct, whether you want to or not, your first instinct is to put your hands up. What do you mean when I yell at you? Right? But what if we reversed it and teach our kids this sentence pattern? I feel small when you yell at me. And then take it to the next level. Then, by the way, first, I feel small when you yell at me like that. Oh, now the first thing we heard was, I feel small. You feel small? Oh, I'm so sorry. Right? But let's take it to the next level and not even put when you. I feel small when I'm talked to like that. If they're very small, maybe not get into that, form of grammar. But this sentence pattern, I feel when. It's a very powerful one. Start it yourself. Start it yourself. Before you start enforcing it in the house or anything, start these sentence patterns with yourself, to your partner, to your kids. You start implementing these for you and let them follow you. Remember, we're being conscious leaders. We're leading, right? We are doing the behavior and letting them follow us, right? That's what the purpose of this is. This is one I like. I talked about this earlier. It's no one's fault. It happened. And this is so cool because I say this a lot because, kids are like, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's his fault. It's her fault. It's no one's fault. It happened. Right? And then it's so cool because sometimes I'll say, I'm sorry, if it's somebody's fault, it's my fault that this happened because, and like my 5-year-old or my 8-year-old, somebody will say, it's nobody's fault. It just happened. That's so amazing. It's no one's fault. But you have to feel this within yourself first. So start with this, take leadership roles and take these steps and implement these, right? It's no one's fault. It happened. Here's one. We talked about tracking wins. So in the day when little things happen, it helps me notice when a win happens. And I say, that's a win. That's a win. Sometimes I'll say it to myself out loud, right? And I'll say it with the kids. When they do something good, they say thank you, they share, they eat all their dinner, they do something. That's a win. They say a new word, whatever. That's a win. And now they start saying that's a win more than I do. You're taking that leadership role. You're taking that leadership, right? You are being the example. You start saying these. You have to remember in yourself, it has to become a habit. It's not going to happen just the first or second or 10th time, right? But it's a habit. If you stay consistent with it, you'll do a few things. You'll start noticing wins in your day, and you'll start announcing it, and your kids will start noticing wins. Your kids will start announcing it. And you will pick up the energy in your house and in your family. It's a beautiful thing. Next one, it's obvious, but that which is obvious to do, that which is easy to do is easy not to do. So thank you for whatever. Let's say thank you more often. Not even so much just thank you. Thank you for whatever they did or whatever you want them to do. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for telling me that. That's a big one. This is a huge one too. We're on the same team. I actually have on my bathroom wall a bunch of expressions and sayings like you are the universe. You are what you think. What you think becomes reality. You are what you think. You become what you think. What you think becomes reality. And one I have, same team. And I got this from a psychologist that I follow on Instagram. And whenever you're in fights or your children get upset and kind of look at you like you're the enemy, hey, we're on the same team, right? And you say this enough, and then they start copying. That's what a leader does. They lead in their form. They lead in what they say. Right? Here's another one that I use to go with kind of, it's not your fault, it's nobody's fault. If something happens and they make a mistake, or they drop something, or they shouldn't have done something, and maybe something went wrong, they broke a glass, or something went wrong. Well, and by the way, I also say it to myself, something I did, well, now we know. Now I know I should have done that. Right? Now we know. Rather than, you should have done this, you shouldn't have. Well, you see, this is so typical, right? You see, well, you see what happens when you don't do that? Do you see what happens? No. That fills them with guilt and shame and blame. Now we know. Now we know. And I use this one as like affirmations. I use this when I drop them off at school. I'm like, you're going to be big? You're going to have fun? What are you? And then they say, I'm a champion, or I'm a winner, or I'm amazing, or I'm awesome. Something like that, just to get them connected with, what are you? I'm a superstar. And one time my son was like, I'm a dragon. Awesome. And one time he was watching a TV show, and someone said that on the TV show, what are you? And he said, I'm a champion. That's awesome. So, and I say this all the time, you're the best. You're the best. I say this to my kids. I say this, in comments sometimes on Facebook. Just, you're the best. I say this to students. I say this to clients, right? You're the best. And then one time my daughter drew me a card, and she wrote, you're the best. I love you. Feels so good. But you have to say this enough, right? It has to become regular communication in your house. And here's something that I want to include, because we lose control as parents. As I said in the very beginning of this workshop, we lose control. We lose control sometimes. And this happened just the other day. You know how I tell you not to, yell at him so much and to have more patience? Well, I didn't need to talk to you guys like that. So these are the sentence patterns that, and if you want to take a screenshot, take a screenshot. I put those in the updated edition of the Conscious Leading Playbook for you, so you can have these, put those on the wall, on your bathroom mirror, just someplace where you can see them and be reminded, and have them be a part of your regular communication, right? We want these to become a habit, become a part of our regular communication, and to become a lifestyle. It's not just the words. It's not just, trying these out. It's that they need to become an actual part of our lifestyle and our communication. And these are what I wanted to share.